Can we know the truth? All the great thinkers throughout history have sought a single certainty, something which no one can refute, like 2 and 2 make 4. In order to find that truth, Wittgenstein used, in fact, mathematical logic. What better means of obtaining a certainty than an immutable language free from the passions of man? He advanced slowly, using equation after equation with impeccable method, until he reached a terrifying conclusion. There is no such truth outside of mathematics. There is no way of finding a single absolute truth, an irrefutable argument which might help answer the questions of mankind.
No matter how different our genes or life experiences may be, or how differently our backgrounds and places where we come from are, our plastic brains are wired by our experience. We all have to deal with the unknown, and we all try to move from chaos to order. And this is why we look for rules since we were growing up. Our caregivers, teachers, government gave us rules to follow. Therefore, when most people come to trading, they expect also to be given rules, to act in a way that brings order and structure. We all search for structure. The problem is that trading, like in life itself, is random. There is not order when we are surrounded by other people and entities that make decisions and work in ways that is sometimes going to go against our own benefit. But it is easier to fall into the ideologies because these ones provide simple ideas to a complex world. And it's the same for the world of trading. Ideologies, as simple ideas, are disguised as science or philosophy that have the purpose to explain the complexity of the world and offer remedies that will make it perfect. Ideologues are people who pretend they know how to make a specific world a better place before they've taken care of their own chaos within. Ideologies are substitutes for true knowledge, and ideologues are always dangerous when they come to power because a simple-minded, I know it all approach is no match. Aristotle understood that all humans beings are, by some kind of biological endowment, so ineradicably concerned with structure. This is why we usually desperately try to create that structure of laws and rules whenever we are. We just have to read a little bit of history to realize how ideologies and belief systems could become so important to people that they were willing to risk the destruction of the world to protect them. So you have to understand that it is the same ideas that pull you to trade in the market in a certain way, the same ideas that don't allow you to follow price to the opposite direction. And instead, you hope that what you believe the market should do happens and gets fulfilled, then becoming more emotional. You have to be aware that it is your belief, the one responsible for your emotions, because you are treating your ideas as precious objects that have to be protected. And once those ideas lose strength, you adopt new ideas based on subjective validation of others that seem to have the structure and rules that you desperately want to find to feel certainty in an environment that is random and asymmetric. Remember that the business owners attracted you, making you believe that there is such a structure and rules, so that you just need to memorize them and learn them to become successful. And in that way, you will be able to predict consistently what will happen next and why, when not even in the outside world of trading that's even possible. They understand the human nature in psychology. They understand something very basic. People who live by the same code are rendered mutually predictable to one another. They act in keeping with each other's expectations and desires. They can cooperate. They can even complete peacefully because everyone knows what to expect from everyone else. A shared belief system, partly psychological, partly acted out, simplifies everyone in their own eyes and in the eyes of others. Shared beliefs simplify the world as well because people who know what to expect from one another can act together to tame the world. There's perhaps nothing more important than the maintenance of this organization, the simplification. And if it's threatened, the great ship of state rocks. It isn't precisely that people will fight for what they believe. They will fight instead to maintain the match between what they believe and what they expect and what they desire. They will fight to maintain match between what they expect and how everyone is acting. It is precisely the maintenance of that match that enables everyone to live together peacefully, predictably, and productively. It reduces uncertainty in the chaotic mix of intolerable emotions that uncertainty produces. So as you can see, it is very important that when you come to this business that your mind is conditioned to certain order. But that order not necessarily is an order that is convenient to you. Therefore, just think about it for a second. As a business owner with access to money and information, he makes you play by rules when in reality, to me as a business owner, the same rules don't apply. For the business owner, the environment is certain because he has real and numerical information and money. On the other hand, the retail trader has an uncertain environment because he will never know what the owner's intentions will be and what he really wants to do. The key then is to understand that the business is presented opposite to what it really is and attractive, so he can pretend to give you certainty as a retail trader when in reality it's just an illusion.
Is he dead? No, sir. He's writing. Repeat. He's writing, sir. He's writing in a notebook.
That man was not mad. He was working with shrapnel whistling round him because he couldn't wait. The contents of that notebook were too important to write it down later. He had to do it when his mind dictated. He couldn't put it off a single second. What was so important that he would risk his life for it? What was he writing that stopped him from standing up and running like any other man would have done? The Tractatus Logico-Philosophicus. The most influential philosophical work of the 20th century. That soldier was called Ludwig Wittgenstein, the man who set the limits on our thoughts. The enigma that he tried to decipher was the following. Can we know the truth? All the great thinkers throughout history have sought a single certainty, something which no one can refute, like 2 and 2 make 4. In order to find that truth, Wittgenstein used, in fact, mathematical logic. What better means of obtaining a certainty than an immutable language free from the passions of men? He advanced slowly, using equation after equation with impeccable method, until he reached a terrifying conclusion. There is no such truth outside of mathematics. There is no way of finding a single absolute truth, an irrefutable argument which might help answer the questions of mankind. Philosophy, therefore, is dead, because whereof we cannot speak, thereof we must be silent. Oh, it seems that someone does wish to speak. It appears that you're not in agreement with Wittgenstein. That means either you have found a contradiction in the arguments of the Tractatus, or you have an absolute truth to share with us all.
I believe in the number pi.
Sorry, I didn't understand you. What was it you said you believed in?
In the number pi, in the golden section, the Fibonacci series. The essence of nature is mathematical. There is a hidden meaning beneath reality. Things are organized following a model, a scheme, a logical series. Even the tiny snowflake includes a numerical basis in its structure. Therefore, if we manage to discover the secret meaning of numbers, we will know the secret meaning of reality.
Impressive. Translating his words into the Queen's English, we find ourselves faced with a fresh, rousing defense of mathematics, as if numbers were pre-existing ideas in reality. Anyway, this is nothing new. Since man is incapable of reconciling mind and matter, he tends to confer some sort of entity on ideas, because he cannot bear the notion that the purely abstract only exists in our brain. The beauty and harmony of a snowflake. How sweet. The butterfly that flutters its wings and causes a hurricane on the other side of the world. We've been hearing about that damn butterfly for decades, but who has been able to predict a single hurricane? Nobody. Tell me something. Where is the beauty and harmony in cancer? What makes a cell suddenly decide to turn itself into a killer metastasis and destroy the rest of the cells in a healthy body? Does anybody know? No. Because we'd rather think of snowflakes and butterflies, and of pain, war, or that book. Why? Because we need to think that life has meaning, that everything is governed by logic and not by mere chance. If I write 2, then 4, then 6, then we feel good because we know that next comes 8. We can foresee it. We are not in the hands of destiny. Unfortunately, however, this has nothing to do with truth. Don't you agree? This is only fear. Sad. There you go.
Leave your comments below and don't forget to subscribe. Remember, always trade with logos, always trade with logic. See you next time and let me know what you think.